Hey guys, welcome to the Fight Tonight channel. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. I really want to get 1000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Gervonta Tank Davis is a box office star, a fact reinforced Saturday when 20,000 customers, paying customers, noted Mayweather promotions saw Leonard Ellerbe crammed into a Barclays Center to watch Davis flatten Rolando Romero by 6th-round knockout. Madonna was there, Tracy Morgan too. Notable fighters from Errol Spence Jr. to Shakur Stevenson made the trip. It was the highest-grossing boxing event in the building's 10-year history. Event organizers anticipate the gate revenue to approach $5 million, and irrefutable evidence that Davis, who has already packed houses in Baltimore, Atlanta, and LA, is one of the biggest draws in the sport. Tank Davis is not a boxing star, not yet anyway, and the highlight reels top page of Romero won't get him there. Tank's social media cartel will twist Romero into a quality win, as if Rolly's sterling records wasn't a result of careful matchmaking, late replacements, and horrifying judging. Romero wasn't the stable bomb that oddsmaker pictured him as going in, but his lunging style was always going to leave him exposed to the kind of crushing counter Tank clipped him with. Afterwards, Ellerbe declares Romero to be the second-best 135-pounder in the division. Somewhere George Kambosos, Haney, and Vasily Lomachenko are still learning. Tank is what he is: powerful, popular, and even after Saturday, still unproven. It has been 5 years since Davis topped Jose Pedraza to win a legitimate 130-pound title. Davis has stayed undefeated since then, inflating his record with a carefully curated string of opponents, from fading big names, Yuriorkis Gamboa, Santa Cruz, to flawed lesser ones, Ricardo Nunez, Barrios, collecting a pair of hubcap titles along the way. As the deep lightweight division zigged, Davis has zagged, acing on opportunities to test himself, because, as Floyd Mayweather said last year, we keep things in-house. He can't anymore, because right now Davis, 27, is living in an empty nest. The premier boxing champion landscape between 113 and 114 pounds is downright barren. Chris Colbert, a once minor title holder at 130, was battered by Hector Luis Garcia in February. Gary Russell Jr., a long-time 126-pound champion, is coming off a loss to Mark Magsayo. A rematch with Santa Cruz, who lost a competitive fight to Davis last December, is possible, but that pay-per-view performed so poorly, those involved didn't bother with the time-honored practice of leaking inflated numbers about it. Davis needs a real dance partner, and there is one available: Garcia. At 23, Garcia is one of the boxing rising stars. He is undefeated with explosive power. A former protege of Canelo Alvarez, who established himself as a legitimate contender with a win over Luke Campbell last year. Garcia's rise stalled after that, with injuries and mental health issues limiting him to one fight in 2021. He's back now, and Garcia, who was ringside on Saturday, told he was ready to make Davis' fight happen. If you really want to show who ducked who, and you're really confident that I'm ducking, well then we could record the entire negotiations, Garcia said. If you want to throw that in, I'm down to throw that in. I have never ducked anybody, Garcia said. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 1000 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard absolutely every day, and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Davis needs to push for a fight. Garcia too, because it's complicated. Davis, a premier boxing champion fighter, has been built by Showtime. Since 2018, Garcia, promoted by Golden Boy, has fought exclusively on DAZN for Davis Garcia to happen. The networks need to collaborate, as HBO and Showtime did it 2015 when Floyd Mayweather faced Manny Pacquiao in what turned out to be the most lucrative fight in boxing history. Will they? In a text message, DAZN Executive Vice President Jose Makrovsky told that DAZN was very willing to do a joint production with Showtime. Looking forward to the discussions, said Markovsky. Steven Espinosa, the president of Showtime Sports, didn't dismiss the possibility of teaming up, but made it clear he believed Showtime would prefer to do Davis Garcia on its own. Candidly, I don't know what DAZN brings to the table, to be completely honest, Espinosa said. I understand what UFC brought to the table in Mayweather-McGregor. I understand what HBO brought to the table in Mayweather-Pacquiao. I don't understand what DAZN brings to the table. It's not a big enough fight to split up 5 different ways, Espinosa said.